Hello once again, this is Bloodmire's channel. Today I've got a Vampire Accounts report versus Lizardmen. It's 2,000 points. I'm playing a character battle. My opponent is Wesley, and he's a very good player. He's one of the few that I have trouble playing against. And we're just doing a pitched battle today, and character battle. So I brung 2,000 points. I brung Vlad, and I brung Konrad and Isabella. You can see the skeleton bunker there. Vlad's in there. No command. So it's just 25 skeletons, hand weapon shield. Ghouls on the left hand side. There's 40 of them, bare minimum. No ghast either. Then there's 40 grave guard with Isabella and Konrad. Konrad the far right hand corner. Isabella's there next to the banner. So there's they're in horde formation. It's kind of what it's set up. And then I have a black coach over there in the very far left flank. And it's just standing out there by itself. Now this is what Wesley's setup look like compared to mine. He's got from left to right, that's a big unit of actually 12 skinks. They're I think he was feared maybe I had like a vampire scout, so he made him pretty wide there so I couldn't get behind him and he had to deal with me. Then he's got a horde formation of Spiritosauruses. Slam Mage Priest, that's 500 points on the nose. He's got like 4 disciplines. And a small 20-man unit of Saurus Warriors. In the far right-hand corner, he's got 2 other units of Skinks. And he gets a couple of scouts, so he's got these camo Skinks here behind this Temple of Skulls. Also inside that Tower of Blood, that's actually a settlement that he put up there. It's my manor house that I painted for my vampire accounts. He's got a Skink Priest with the Cloak of Feathers, and he took Lore of Heavens, and he's got the I think the Thunderbolt and the Ice Shard Blizzard, I believe. This is kind of what it looks like. His setup, he's using some old Temple Guard because he didn't have enough source, because he I mean that's perfectly fine. He's also got a Battle Center Bear in there, which is the black base Saurus Warrior, which would be 3 from the left in the front rank. He's just another banner dude. So my turn. Learned that he has becalmment, so I used Vlad and stuck him 24 inches away from him exactly so that he wouldn't throw away all my 6s. And I just moved everybody up another 8 inches. I think Vlad could only go up like 3. Then my black coach comes up on the the left hand side, and progressives go forward. Now, kind of saw this coming. Yeah, in my magic phase, nothing went off, but during his, he moved all his skinks forward, and he's going to literally throw 60 plus dice at this coach, trying to wound it. So, also on the right hand side, he moves them up, reforms them since they're skirmishers, and he's got camo skinks on the right side next to those ghouls. They're about to get a lot of darts put into them too. So he gets off a few things in his magic phase, no big deal, but I zoom on through. I pick up 2 dice from his magic pool, so now it's ethereal. It did take 3 wounds, and you know, with a 3-up armor save and a 4-up ward, throwing 60 dice, I mean, you're gonna fail a few. And you know, luckily I just made it out of there alive. It's only got 4 wounds on the coach, so I was pretty lucky actually. He was planning on just wiping that thing out, but now it's ethereal and it's back to my turn. So move the Graveguard forward. They hop over the fence here. They're coming around. The coach is actually now in the lead, coming around on the flank, which is great. Vlad's still back there. He's got, yeah, poor guy. He's got a problem going on. So he doesn't want to get too close. Tried doing some Summon Undead Horde to cut off those camo skinks and have some zombies soak up some damage. So my ghouls, poor guys, man, with those poison attacks against them, they're hurting. So I think I lost 11 on the first run. This is what an overview looks like. He backed up his slam just a little bit, which is fine. His camo skinks are kind of being left in the dust now because of the coach. Can't wait. I think it takes me like another 2 turns for me to get flying, which really bites me in the ankle. So he redirects and takes his camo skinks, and now they're going to focus fire on the Graveguard, which is probably a much better idea. Then he should have probably started doing that rather than just leaving the coach, because he can do stuff with the coach like Thunderbolt it and other things. I mean, I understand trying to get rid of it and then go into the Graveguard, or at least attempting to. But honestly, I would just slowed up the Graveguard as much as possible, because Graveguard's it's 555 points, and they are kind of quite massive. So he backs his slant up a little bit more during his turn. That's the yeah. So he's moving over there behind his horde of Source Warriors. Kind of getting scared. I can understand why. Okay, so after I lose another 20 guys in the shooting phase, and he just rolled really well. So during my turn, I moved them forward just a little bit, as much as possible, and then I take Vlad and I turn his little skeleton bunker unit and face them in the flank. And I do this on purpose. I was actually kind of waiting because I knew he was going to come up some more and try to take out those ghouls. So this actually works out in my favor tactically for the rest of the game. So my plan was swift reform, and then just reform, and then Van Hales directly into them, and then they are going to either stand and shoot or take that charge. Now, if they do that, they have to make a terror test, and they're going to be at -1 at least. So, as planned, they flee. I move up 8 inches. He doesn't go very far with his camo skinks, and his other unit of skinks break. And because his slant and BSB are too far away, and they're -1 leadership, he failed on a 5 or a 4. I cannot remember which, but using 3 dice, he still failed, so they broke. Poor ghouls, they're about to they're about to die, and that's fine. I won't be able to deal with them. The Graveguard's still at full ranks, so he fails to rally again, and they are now almost on the edge of the board. And he's bringing his slant around now to use some leadership, because they're going to need it, because he doesn't want to waste these points. Graveguard, he popped a few. I think I lost 4 out of like 44 dice or something like that, which is pretty good. So I was happy about that. Black Coach is coming up. He's getting pretty close, and the Graveguard is slowly creeping forward. Now, this is after Magic. He gets Dwellers off for the first time, and he's been trying it now for a couple of rounds, but this is a pretty piss poor picture. I'm sorry about that, but he gets one off. He gets one off, and the Graveguard slowly crumble, and Isabella dies. So Vlad's not going to be happy about that. Now, I charge. Wow, that's a bad picture. The Graveguard charge first, and then the Black Coach comes in on the side, very nicking, so they're maximized as much as possible with the combo charge. The ghouls are not in combat, but I move them up in my move them up as much as possible in my remaining moves, and then Van Hales them just enough so that they would not be touching the Source Warriors, but they would be blocking them. And I did that because I wanted them to stay there just for one more round. Now, after combat, I wipe that unit of Sauruses, and I reform because I didn't want to overrun just yet. And that might have been a bad idea, but when I was thinking about it, it was the best thing I could have probably done. So the Black Coach overran and went off the back side of the table. That's which is going to come in later. And I did that on purpose too. So Source Horde is probably going to charge next turn. He moves his slant over. You can see that he's far over there trying to catch them, but neither of them rally. So even with the BSB was not over there, and he charged there with the Source units, and they're now in close combat. But now those skinks are completely out of the way, so they they took tail and run. Now he brings his Cloak of Feathers dude from that Tower of Blood, and is now back behind. He's going to try and Thunderbolt, even though I've got a Magic Resistance 3 with a 4-up ward on the coach. He's going to try. And he's going to shoot the shit out of those Graveguard again, and that's what it looks like afterwards. I have zoomed Vlad back around, and he, and when I was doing this, there's many things that can happen, and I thought that I did a pretty good job. If he does not charge me, then I'm going to get a flank charge. If he charges my Graveguard, I'm going to charge Vlad in. If he charges my skeleton unit, he's going to hit them in the flank, but there's enough models there. With Vlad, he's going to survive. And so then my Graveguard's going to charge his flank, and I'm going to use Summon Undead Horde and pop out on the other side. So he's got decisions to make, and I try to confuse him about this, but he handled it the best way possible. So he charges my Graveguard and moves the Skinks to block them as much as possible. I understand where he's going with that. He also got Dwellers blow off of my skeleton units. Vlad's still alive, but I lost so many skeletons. It was incredible. So after that, he threw another like 44 dice, and I only lost 2 skeletons. The worst he rolled the entire game. And I was just like, so I was really kind of wanting to rub it in his face, but we were pretty tight already. So he was throw 44 dice, I lost 2 skeletons, and those blowpipes and that poison, sure enough, just didn't do enough. So he wipes that Graveguard and Konrad. He loses 5 models, and he had to flesh the stone off of the unit, so they were pretty pumped. I move forward, and this is the last picture. I charged with the black coach and Vlad, and I wiped that unit of Skinks because I hit them in the rear. I did 5 wounds on impact hits, then another 3. It actually completely wiped the unit, overrun. They die, and the camo Skinks now have been hit by the black coach in the flank. So going in turn of combat, I completely wipe both units. I get 4 more skeletons back because of Vlad's Blood Drinker. So I had the black coach, the skeleton bunker, and Vlad left, and I lost all my other characters. He's got his BSB, his source unit, and his 2 other mages. So he wins by about roughly I think 300 points. So Vlad's still alive, and the story goes that Vlad goes and picks up Konrad and Isabella and gets back in the black coach and drives on home because the South is just too wild for him today. So I thought it was a pretty good game, but I hope you enjoyed it.